going to talk much more about the economy and the government's role in this recovery with Yuki Tatsumi joining us. She's a senior associate of the East Asia program at the Stimson Center. Thank you very much and welcome to Biz Asia America.
Pleasure.
Mike was talking a lot about this role that Shinzo Abe has had, and you would think everyone would just be happy, but it's actually been somewhat controversial, a lot of these moves. Let me first start with, how do you assess the performance thus far?
On the economic front, I think it's very mixed. As you may remember, when he first came into the government, he talked about the growth strategy for Japan, which consisted of what he called as 3 arrows. 1, deflation of yen. 2, more of a basically increasing the national budget and put money into public works and all over. Those 2 arrows have been successful, I must say, for short term. Consumption is up, consumer and business confidence is up, but what's unknown and what's still untested is the 3rd arrow, which is expected to be the most critical element of his growth strategy.
This latest political victory, does it allow Abe to do a lot more in terms of what he wants to do? I mean, was he ever tied, so to speak, from doing what he actually wants to do?
It's kind of interesting because at this election, although it was a big victory of it doesn't necessarily guarantee his free reign. First of all, a lot of the issues, most contentious issues, for example, Japan's potential participation in Trans-Pacific Partnership, increasing consumption tax, those are very divisive issues, not across the country for public, not only that, but also within his own party. So he will face tremendous opposition within his own party, and also his coalition partner.
Does he, a lot of focus has been placed on the domestic economy. Do you think he thinks about what other countries in Asia might think of him and Japan, and not just that, but across the world?
Oh, I think he's very, very aware of that. He thinks that in order for Japan to continue to be at one of the leading economies in the world, revitalizing economy in a sustainable way is critical. And then I think very, very heavy on his mind. There's no doubt about that.
The consumption tax, this has been going on for a little while, this little controversy. Yes. Help us explain. I mean, obviously people don't like it because it's a tax.
Right.
But why is it needed to begin with? How did this conversation come about?
It came about first as the way to how Japan would ease the pain of more fundamental restructuring of, for example, social security, of pension system. It's very, very inappropriate model for the quickly aging society. But then in order to ease that pain of try to restructure and minimize the impact on the seniors, they need more revenues.
Is this a way of essentially young people paying for their parents' retirement?
It's actually try to spread that pain evenly
you're
to
saying
everybody.
It nicely, but
yeah.
This is the issue. There's not enough money to take care of the elderly folks.
Exactly. I mean, there's clearly was going to be the case if nothing had been done. So consumption tax, a hike of it, is the way of spreading that pain, so to speak, to more or less evenly to all generations.
Very quickly, any surprises you think are going to come out over the next 6 months now?
Not that I think of, but I'll be watching very closely if he moves forward with a hike of a consumption tax in the fall.
I'm listening to my producer as well, and we want to talk a little bit more about why Japan. They're now the 3rd largest economy, of course, after China, and they also have a very interesting relationship with China as well. How has that evolved with Abe, and has Abe been able to mend the differences over the past couple of years between China and Japan?
I think that mending process will start now. I think China now is aware that although he may not agree or he may not be the most agreeable personalities or ideology as a Japanese political leader that they want to have, this election results is the testament that he is going to stick around for a couple of years. So I think
so there won't be another change anytime soon, is what you're saying.
I don't anticipate that until he makes a huge mistake either on the process of TPP negotiations or how to handle the selling the consumption tax hike to the public in some of those reform issues.
We will continue to monitor the situation. Yuki Tatsumi, thank you very much for joining us on Biz Asia America.